Hi, my name is Jamie. I am currently majoring in clinical psychology and I currently reside in California. Social thinking is basically how we make sense of people and situations around us. We all see things through our own beliefs, values, expectations, and past experiences. So, two people can look at the same situation and understand it completely different. Attribution comes into play when we try to figure out why someone acted a specific way. So let's say I send a friend an important text and don't get a response. I might assume that my friend is ignoring me or upset with me, even though she might be working or driving or whatever the case may be. She just might not be able to answer me. If I immediately decide that their silence says something negative about their personality, I could create tension over something that was never even personal in the first place. 1 Samuel 16:7 says that people look at outward appearances, but God looks at our heart. That reminds me that one action does not tell me everything about someone's intentions, so I need to respond with patience and humility. Social influence is something that we encounter all the time, whether we notice it or not. Our surroundings and the messages we hear can shape our attitudes and decisions. That influence is not always bad, but it is still important to think carefully about when people are trying to persuade us to believe or do something. For instance, before purchasing an expensive service, we should do some research about the company's claims and compare them with other information from independent sources. Doing that ahead of time would make me feel a whole lot better that A, I did my research, and B, that I'm not being taken advantage of. There's no emotional advertising, there's no made up deadline, and there's certainly no peer pressure from some salesperson trying to just make a sale. This kind of preparation is called attitude inoculation. It works by exposing us to weaker arguments so we're better prepared to resist stronger ones later. 1 Thessalonians 5:21 tells believers to examine everything carefully and hold on to what is good. And to me, that means Christians should not immediately accept to reject every message. We should consider the evidence, purpose, and truthfulness behind it before allowing it to guide our choices. Social relations deals with the ways we build relationships, help others, and work through disagreements. Imagine two co-workers competing for the same promotion. If one receives the position, the other person might take it personally and see the decision as a betrayal. Things could become even worse if they both start assuming that the other person has selfish motives. A much healthier approach to this would be for them to talk it out. To talk honestly, listen to each other, and separate the workplace decision from their own personal relationship. Matthew 5:9 calls peacemakers blessed. But being a peacemaker does not mean ignoring a problem or pretending nothing happened. It means that we deal with a disagreement in a way that makes room for honesty, understanding, and reconciliation. Out of all of these concepts, social thinking interests me the most. Probably because as a future clinical psychologist, I will be working with people whose assumptions have a strong effect on their emotions and relationships. Understanding attribution will help me encourage clients to consider possible explanations before deciding that their first interpretation must be the truth. That is obviously going to prevent unnecessary misunderstandings and help people respond to one another with more patience and humility in the long run. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.